rootless, unhappy medicine, disconnected from the ground. We ride windward across the wasteland, skin in danger, but our hearts so safe and sound. We speak the language of song and shadow. Ooh, we are tenders of the flame. We ride rootless on heaviness.
What we're about to watch is intended for mature audiences only. The opinions expressed by the hosts and audience members are their own and are not connected to or reviewed in advance by Warehouse38.tv. Any issues arising from this webcast or its contents should be directed to the individual commentators. Warehouse38.tv is not responsible for the veracity of any of the following content.
Pagan TV is dedicated to education about modern pagan religions and is committed to the protection, welfare, and guardianship of the rights of all people to worship as their hearts and minds dictate. Modern Pagan TV considers education of the non-pagan public and of our own world community about pagan religions to be of paramount importance and encourages open dialogue across all platforms with the understanding that all voices have an equal right to be heard. Modern Pagan TV encourages participation in multiple spiritual events as the tradition and the individual deems appropriate and maintains that courtesy and open-mindedness and not denigration are paramount to any discussion. So sit back or join in. Modern Pagan TV is streaming live.
The pitch got higher, all the drums went out to the edge, and it got higher, and it got loud, and the girls were out screaming and, shrieking and dancing. And when it got to this peak, it just stopped. Dead silence. It was beautiful.
And go. Live studio audience for the sex toy show.
I know, it's like the biggest one we've ever seen, huh?
Yeah.
Some of them aren't even wearing shirts, but that's because it's like 112 degrees in here.
You think that's only 112 degrees?
I think so. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't
it's...
my thermometer tops out, I think, at 110.
Yeah. So, welcome. Welcome
Hi,
to
guys.
tonight's show.
Sure, this is America, all the ships at sea, and our foreign observers, wherever you may be.
Yeah, all over the place. Yeah. So, welcome. So, I'm Laura McKenzie.
I'm Catlin Drake.
And I'm Drake, just like I was last time. So, glad to be here. This is going to be fun. We got a full night, looks like.
We have
live music.
Yeah, sex toys, and rock and roll.
And polyamory.
Yeah.
See, it's like I'm an expert at polyamory, because I know it's a Latin term, actually. The amory part means to love, usually in a sexual fashion, and poly means that they took the parrot away and I have to go to meetings. So, anyway. We need a rim shot. Okay.
I don't want that picture!
All right, so
you're going to talk about Saturn, right? Saturn did something major big, right?
But yeah.
He's Saturn after all. Oh, God. Doesn't do anything by
Why don't find out what that
is. Okay. This is easier when you do it on green screen, isn't it? People aren't sitting here.
Sex stories.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to thank you for joining us for another episode of Modern Pagan TV's Flying Through the Skies, a witch's view of the cosmos. We're going to address some of this planetary activity. And this week begins on Monday, June 25th, and all times listed are Mountain Daylight Time. And we start the week off with the moon in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, and with a waxing moon that crests in the second quarter at 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 26th, it lends elements of fertility to any moon workings. Virgo, yeah, how appropriate is that? Virgo rules the 6th house of health and service, so healing rights and rights for the benefits of others is supported. We have 3 void of course moons this week, and we start with the first one on Tuesday, June 26th. At 4:53 a.m. as the moon leaves Virgo and enters Libra at 11:15 a.m. the same day. The second void of course moon occurs on Thursday, June 28th. I can see you out of the corner of my eye. June 28th at 2:22 a.m. as the moon leaves Libra and moves into Scorpio at 2:32 a.m. the same day. The last void of course moon begins on Saturday, June 30th at 1:46 p.m. as the moon exits Scorpio and plans to enter Sagittarius at 4:04 p.m. the same day. As a heads up for next week, the moon turns void of course on Monday, July 2nd at 4:21 p.m. and enters Capricorn at 4:51 p.m. the same day. Turning towards the sun is in the first decant of the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. Our attention towards our homes, families, and ancestors is reinforced by this placement of the sun. We are firmly in the Litha cycle. We have 2 retrograde planets turning direct this week. The first one is Saturn in Libra. I know why you're so happy about that.
I know, I am.
Turning direct on Monday, June 25th at 2 a.m.
I know.
With all retrogrades, expect the pop quiz as the planet turns direct. For Saturn in Libra, that can mean exiting stress around the balancing of demands with our personal relationships and the responsibilities to the self. The second planet turning direct is Venus in Gemini, and it turns direct on Wednesday, June 27th at 9:07 a.m. The pop quiz here is in regards to what we have learned in communicating our feelings to others. As planets leave retrograde, the pop quiz can be graceful or stressful depending on how much internal work we have completed in the areas addressed by the planet and affected by where they're placed. We still have 2 planets remaining in retrograde this week. First, we have Neptune continued retrograde movement in Pisces and increasing the potential of active dream work, but lending an element of deception and illusion to our waking lives. This placement in Pisces stirs up karmic issues, so be prepared to work on past life residue or other unresolved subconscious issues. Chiron is not a planet, but has profound, I know, I feel that way too, profound influence in our charts and lives when addressing healing old wounds that we have borne for lifetimes. Chiron, as the wounded healer, is the asteroid that governs shamans. It's often the wounding or chronic illness of the shaman that lends the power to unlock the wisdom of healing for others. With this placement, the focus truly is on what is hidden from view and patterns entrenched over lifetimes. Such a fitting placement for Chiron in Pisces as it addresses the 12th house issues during this retrograde. Chiron brings the blessing to be able to address stagnant karmic issues that have been stirred up and finally release our past pain and injury. Chiron lends aid to retrograde Neptune during this retrograde and this retrograde in Pisces. And we will have Chiron's help with this until November 14th of this year. The second planet remaining retrograde is Pluto in Capricorn. As Chiron is the asteroid of shamans, so Pluto is the planet or subplanet of shamans. Pluto has the ability to strip us to the bone and, like Kali Ma in her destructive cycle, can be unyielding and brutal. The lesson is in releasing and not trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. Pluto in retrograde speaks to us on an internal level, and with this placement in Capricorn, addresses our view or beliefs around what defines us, be it career or reputation. Remember, we are all shamans of our life, and through the transformation and transmutation process that is afforded us by retrograde planets, we either ride the lightning or the lightning rides us. For those moon howlers and night sky watchers, here is where you will find the planets this week. Mercury enters Leo at 8:24 a.m. on Monday, June 25th. Heads up, as Mercury turns retrograde on July 15th, and will remain retrograde until August 8th. Venus in Gemini turns direct this week. Mars remains in Virgo until July 4th. When he enters Libra, Jupiter remains in Gemini. Saturn in Libra turns direct this week. Uranus in Aries and will retrograde on Friday, July 13th. Neptune retrograde in Pisces until November 10th. And finally, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn until September 18th. This is Kat. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Flying Through the Skies, a Witch's View of the Cosmos. I'm a good periphery. I'm like, okay.
What was that evil little chuckle that we heard there toward the end? Something going someplace.
I just like Mars being in Virgo. It sounded like we was right for the show. Mars is in Virgo. And Aries is in Uranus. That would be one of these guys. What's next? Moving right along.
Can you do a chart for a geographical area, like for Colorado? Why is Colorado burning?
Well, you could, because it's really dry.
Well, I
was really good in science.
Just remember, there is no global warming.
You can do charts for areas, and you can do charts for times for events, and so you can do charts based on areas. And
So would you do it from the time it became a territory, the time it became a state, or the time it came up out of the water like millions of years ago? What would you use as the
very
baseline?
good question. If you were looking, well, let's say you wanted to move to an area. Then you would do a chart based on that area and based on the time that you wanted to move there. Let's say we're having all these fires right now, so we would do a chart based on the first fire that broke out.
Okay.
And so we would look at that, and then we'd look at the pattern of the other fires that happened after that. So we'd get an idea about what was happening. More than likely, we would be able to see that planetarily, what's affecting.
Yeah,
us
that's
right
what I was
now.
asking.
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a little video, I think, of what's going on. I think there are, 15 fires right now going on in Colorado. And I just found out last night that some good friends of ours who lives west of Fort Collins have just lost everything. The house, the shed, the truck, the horse trailer, and every tree on their property. So and my brain just can't comprehend what that must be like.
7,000 people evacuated as of now. I mean, where are they living? Where are they going? I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
And they're not allowed, back home back to the ashes to see, what's left. So.
I know a couple of people in Manatee Springs. One of them just came back from...
Which is south of Denver, around Colorado Springs, if you're not from Colorado.
It's that fire that's burning west by Garden of Gods. And she just came back from visiting her son in Texas and came back to this. So she didn't have a chance to go to her house and grab anything. So everything she's got, she had from her time that she left to go visit her son. So, and this is pretty much the way it is.
And then we got a call tonight from a friend of ours who is going to be evacuated shortly and is trying to be proactive. And so, so I thought, as I was getting ready for the show tonight, I thought that what we could do is to use all of your energy. So we have this marvelous studio audience and all of us and all of our wonderful crew, and invoke the rain gods. And so we have a list of all the ones that we know, not that we want to eliminate, or not. Well, there are a couple we are, but
anybody who has lightning or wind in their pantheon, we're going to. I had a really interesting...
Or roasting small children over fires. We're not doing that one either.
On the way over tonight, we were driving down Federal, and lightning struck a electric pole about 40 foot in front of my car, blew up with a huge thing. I had like a little after image of my eyes. Stuff was falling down, set the bushes on fire, and that's when I realized I didn't have a fire extinguisher in my car anymore. So, good thing to possibly keep. Of course, I was also hoping that maybe somebody professional, because I wasn't really too thrilled about the idea of all those electric cords maybe coming down while I was trying to put the fire out. But It's just,
or on top of your car, anything like
well, yeah, that was, it was just amazing to see. It's like, okay, we talk about lightning strikes starting these, and that's, it just happened 40 feet in front of me. The bushes were on fire. And so like I said, we want to think about gentle, long-lasting rain, because if anything comes too big, all these burned out areas are just going to wash down into the rivers and kill all the...
A friend of ours who's a farmer in eastern Colorado actually said to me yesterday, just give us rain, we'll deal with the flooding. Yeah. So I like your idea better, but that's how desperate he is to water, to give water to his animals and food.
Well, it's just with all these burned areas, if you get a huge amount of rain immediately afterwards, you'll kill our streams. Because all the ashes and everything washing in changes the pH balance. It's plus the fact we have so much retardant on the ground right now. Anything that's going to wash it in, that's all going to get in the streams and everything too. No matter what's going to happen, it's going to be very unfortunate.
All right, rain. So if you guys will do that, I'm just going to, and everybody in the studio, just hold intention that Colorado gets some rain, and I'm going to turn our rain stick. So here we go. Go.
We call the Nagas.
Mababa, Mowana, Waresa.
Ua.
Uenuku.
Dang.
Julungur.
Bunbulama.
Iris.
Tasiutlikwe.
Kishinya.
Indug Ut.
Adad.
Toughness.
Utah.
Pakisu Piko.
Bayubibi.
Waruna.
Sodza.
Mau.
Hero.
Kitazira. Pa.
Chak.
Ganmeda.
Kalich Beer.
Calibari.
Isayawa.
Mungo.
Negate.
Notos.
Roxin.
Ukitso.
Bless us with your rain.
Gentle, soft,
persistent
days.
Somewhere to be.
Somewhere to be. All
You got all the hard ones.
I know.
Yeah, that was good. No, you did that good. All right. Well, thanks. I also had a. Did we show the fire? Did we do the fire one? Okay. And if any of you are First Nation, or any of you are Native American, it isn't just Colorado. It's New Mexico, Utah now, Nevada, California. So we could sure use your help, and so we could sure use some rain dances. So all right, so Carmen is here. She's going to do something fun. Hopefully, take our mind off that and give you something to do with coffee filters that you haven't used yet. So, all right, take it away, Carmen. Yay!
All right. Well, hi, Kat. Come on in here. All right.
Good to see you and play with you again.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm Carmen Gonzalo, and this is the Crafty Kitchen Witch, and our wonderful astrology expert is joining me today to play. Okay. So this part of the show is definitely for kids. After this, the kids might want to go watch Nickelodeon or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is a wonderful little project you can do for the fact that, especially in this part of the country right now, since we are so dry, I know I'm having a heck of a time trying to keep everything outside watered. So, why don't we just make some beautiful flowers out of coffee filters and watercolor pens. Before we get started, there is a little chant that I had gotten off of Colorado Pagan email, had sent it out to everybody, and it's basically for the fire victims and everything. So it's called the Holy Wells Ritual, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to do this while you pour water, and you chant this. The chant goes like this: water to water, spirit to spirit, heart to heart, life to life. And you're supposed to do this for about 28 days for rain. So,
do you know what the root of that is? I do.
I do not.
That is a takeoff on on a healing spell, 13th century healing spell.
Wow.
This goes blood to blood, vein to vein, bone to bone, all is well again. It's a 13th century, yeah, it should.
Well, you know,
it's
what
really
I
old.
Yeah. What I was thinking with this is people, you know, when you're in your covens for ritual and stuff, you could probably, like, maybe take, you know, and pass the water around. Everybody have a receptacle and pass it around. So just, you know, just think water, at least for the next.
Oh, I know how that feels better.
So anyway, so we've got these wonderful coffee filters, and everybody who drinks coffee has these at their house, unless you've got the system with the little packets. But anyway, they're inexpensive, they're a heck of a lot of fun, and they come like what, 5 million in a package. Okay, maybe not 5 million, but so what you're going to do is you're going to take. Okay, Kat.
Okay.
I'm going to let you make a few of these.
Okay.
So here's the markers. So you just go ahead and pick your color, and you might want to dip it a little bit because sometimes
to make it
they
watery?
dry out. Yeah, they are watercolor markers.
Okay.
So you just draw whatever you want on there, and it's so much fun. You can actually add a little bit to it when you're all done. Before you turn it into the flower, when it's dry on there, you can add like glitter glue around the edges or whatever, and make it all pretty. And so I've been sitting here playing and making some really fun ones. Look how pretty those are. And I just kind of like, you can do some swirlies like this, you know, just take it like this and swirl it. Or you can actually draw something. You can do some scribbling. So kids, this is so fun and easy, and this, mom and dad and kids, this is for every age. Even you adults are going to have a heck of a good time doing this, because I know I was having some fun doing this. Look at some of the ones that I made here.
These are really colorful.
Look at this. That is like, I don't know what colors I used, but it's so cool. It's so fun. And then you just spritz it with a water bottle. This one here, pardon my reach.
I like that.
This one definitely looks, it almost looks like a tie-dye. It's definitely watercolor there. Another thing that you could try, and this works really good if you're doing watercolors on paper, watercolor paper, but you can take a tiny little dropper of alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, and drip it on there. Some of the other ones that we have here, there's this one here. That one came out really pretty too. And then I've got this one here that I did. And of course, while they're wet, they're going to be kind of fragile, so you want to be real careful. And then, so we're doing some doodles and some drawings and some, you know, just whatever you want to do. Just make it all jazzy. You know, you can do as much or as little. The more you do, the prettier it's going to look. But it's absolutely gorgeous, honey, and it's so much fun to do. Let me tell you that. Okay. So I think I'm going to throw one more color in there. I think I'm going to add a little bit of black. So I'm going to do maybe just some straight lines here and there. Jazz it up like this. Some squigglies in the middle. Okay.
Spritz it with water and make it all exciting.
So I'm going to let you spritz yours first.
Oh, it's like a water painting.
And it's so cool, yeah, because the colors just all bleed into each other. That's why I said if you put a lot on there, it's going to really bleed, and you kids are going to get to see the different colors that are made from that. So we're going to set these aside for just a second and let them dry. And then these other ones, what you do, guys, is you stack them on top of each other, okay? And you're going to make a flower out of this. So these are a little bit damp still, but you stack them on top, and we're going to move these over here a little bit. Okay, I sure hope it gets cool fast because I haven't been sleeping. It's been so hot. So then you're going to, remember Mom and Dad when we were kids how we used to make a fan with paper? You just take it and you fold it, and then you fold it back again this way, and it doesn't have to be perfect because in nature flowers aren't perfect. That's the perfect flowers, is the ones that have some flaws to them. That's why when you see silk flowers, you know, they're fun to play with, but they're just not as realistic. So, okay, so you've got your little fan thing like that. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a pipe cleaner, or Chanel stem, as they are called in this day and age. You can't just keep it what we grew up with.
No, it's so complicated anymore.
So then you twist it and twist it and twist it like this, okay? And then all you're going to do is you're going to very, very carefully, and it works better when they're dry, is go ahead and just kind of pull them apart, okay? And this, kids, mom and dad might have to help you with this part. If they're still a little damp, they're definitely going to rip. But you just keep doing that until they're all apart, and then you have yourself a pretty little flower.
How many layers?
This one is, I think I got 5 on here.
Okay.
But you don't want to do any less than 4. 5 or 6 is really ideal. It really makes it a lot prettier. And then you can just take it like this and flip it over. But it's just an awesome little project. It's fun. It doesn't require anything other than water, coffee filters. You don't have to worry about heating up the kitchen. It's not a big mess because these are just watercolors. So mom, dad, the cleanup is relatively easy. Sometimes watercolors are stained, but just throw some newspapers down and let the kids have a good time. It's an easy, cheap craft.
That's great. Look at that.
Yeah, and it's just a coffee filter. Yeah, coffee filter.
Coffee
filter flower. I know. Isn't that great? I love it. Okay, and then you can do all kinds of fun things. But you got to remember, if you live in an area that's really, really dry, this is a great little flower. You can put them all together, put them in a vase. You got yourself a bouquet. Wonderful little project. All right.
Thank you, Carmen.
I'm Carmen Consalvo, and this is my crafty assistant today, Kat Lundgren, and welcome to our show, and on we go with the rest of it.
All right,
stuff coming
thank you. All right, yeah, we do. We have fun stuff coming up, and one of our favorite guests, who has been with us talking about other things before, is back with us today, Georgia Fleming, who is going to talk and show and tell sex toys. So, Georgia, where are you? Get on up here. Come on.
Let's go to commercial so we reset the stage. Yep.
Commercial first.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Actually, well, she can come up anyway, but we're going to commercial, and then we're coming back to sex toys, so you want to be here. Woo!
I'm chasing twisters down avenue.
You're watching Modern Pagan TV. If you'd be interested in advertising on our program or becoming a sponsor, please email info@modernpagan.tv. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Same communication to your unspoken lies. You can't break my heart.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Been doing like I taught you. Love the new tattoo, Sarah.
Dude, that's Sarah. The girl in the pink shirt. That's the girl I was telling you about.
Theater 2 on your left. Hey, Sarah. What color underwear today?
Hey, Sarah. So when are you going to post something new?
Anything you post online, anyone can see. So think before you post.
Hi, I'm an atheist.
And I'm a Christian. What are you reading over there?
Oh, Harry Potter. It's good stuff.
Oh, we don't like that. That's not good.
Well, why not?
Well, it's got all that violence and stuff in it. People die. We can't have this. Young kids are reading this.
Well, yeah, but aren't there entire chapters in the Bible there about cities being laid to waste and stuff?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's for a good reason. I mean...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, sex. There's tons of sex in that, I'm sure. Secular book. It's got to be sex.
Actually, there's no sex whatsoever in the Harry Potter series.
All right, well, magic. Can't deny magic. Tons of magic. Devil and magic go hand in hand. I mean, come on.
What exactly do you call it that God does?
Miracles.
Right, so he says something, and then something mysteriously happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Magic. That's magic, right?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you? The world is going to end now.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I have begun a new religion. Here is a pamphlet. Clearly states the path of enlightenment is worth $20 to me.
Why, that's completely within your right. Have a nice day. It is often said that the tongue is the strongest muscle in the human body.
Flexible, yet firm, it is the rudder.
Just as a small spark can set the entire forest ablaze.
Just as a tiny key can unlock the largest of vaults, so too is the tongue a key.
It is the key to all articulation.
Capable of delivering a person's most powerful convictions.
Don't let your voice go unheard.
This message is brought to you by the NAB Education Foundation, the Broadcast Education Association, McCormick Foundation, and this station.
Our forefathers fought to guarantee the right of religious freedom for all Americans.
The separation of church and state, as guaranteed in our Constitution, must be preserved.
Each day, men and women in our military are being denied this right.
How can we let this happen in the greatest nation in the world?
The Military Religious Freedom Foundation is leading the fight for justice for our noble and honorable soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and veterans.
As we continue to fight in the courts, in the media, and in the minds and hearts of our fellow citizens, we need your support. Please donate to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation by going to militaryreligiousfreedom.org. Your generous tax-deductible pledge will help protect religious freedom in America.
I'm chasing twisters down
If you like what you see here, please donate to modernpagan.tv. Just go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and look for the donate button. We appreciate your contributions to keep modernpagan.tv on the air and on the internet. And now, back to live modernpagan.tv.
Okay, we're going to do this. Join me and we will rule the universe as father and son.
Never!
Okay. Oh my gosh, mine turned on.
Imagine that.
This is like Amazing Purple Man. It's like,
we're
going down, we're going down!
This right here is actually why you need to really read the descriptions of stuff. Because I was looking for stuff for my kit, and I was like, I want something that's simple and little, not very intimidating. And I saw the picture, and then I didn't read the description of how big it was. And then I got
it's from Life, right?
That one is not.
I think if I had veins like that on my
swear I met
bits,
that
I
guy.
would
There are a couple. There are ones that you can get that are actually life-like recreations of porn stars.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that one's not. That's just a knockoff.
So, Georgia, give us a little background on why these are all yours, and
yes, they are actually all mine.
I know they are.
Why? Because I used to be a For Your Pleasure consultant. I'll say it because I think it's a good party line.
Okay.
So I would come to your house and I would do a very special kind of party, like a Tupperware party, only with a different kind of plastic.
And you have to make things burp, right?
Not with these ones. Trust me, you don't want any.
I think you got one back there could probably burp. I'll try it later.
So I quit doing it. I quit doing it because a lot of people were looking for a sex therapist and not a dildo lady.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not charging $12 an hour to solve your daddy issues.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just not happening. So I just kept them all. I haven't actually gotten around to figuring out what one's going to go in my toy box and which ones are going to be given away, because none of them have actually been used in any real sense.
Okay.
People have touched them,
right?
But nobody's used them.
Yeah. Okay.
So just to let everybody know,
Like things like that.
just to let everybody know, I'm not going to just use medical terms.
Okay.
I could.
No, we talked about that.
We talked about this, and
we talked about
it's better to say things like blowjob and pussy and have people know what you're talking about than to say things like vulva and fellatio and have people say, what about pasta?
There was a big there was an article on the internet, I think it was yesterday, that said that vagina has become some kind of don't use term. Some senator got.
So now everybody's like sending pictures of vaginas and.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I actually like that because vagina is technically not the correct term to use. The correct term to use is your vulva. The vagina is actually the opening inside.
Yeah.
The vulva is all the good stuff.
Right.
So I actually have, believe it or not, a vulva puppet.
Does it talk?
It freaks Tony out when I say, sorry? It freaks him out so bad. So this is what I used to take to parties with me to tell people what am I talking about when I say clitoris, G-spot, all these things.
Yeah.
The very first thing is if your vulva is this color, stop watching the show.
Yeah.
Run
Call
to the
911
ER right
Call
now.
911.
Don't wait.
Yeah.
So this part right here, this nice purpley part, these are the outer labia. The nice lavender part is the inner labia. That's a fancy word for lips. This is the clitoral hood. When you're happy, it goes back and back and back and back. And this is your clitoris. This happy little rosebud right here is actually right where your urethra would be. No, ladies, you don't pee out of your clitoris. You don't. It doesn't happen. And then, you can't really see it so well on the camera if I turn her inside out. This part right here is where your G-spot would be. So if we stuck a finger in about as far in as my finger is right now, is about where your G-spot would be. And Greg, if you actually feel that, it feels amazingly like a G-spot for a puppet.
For a puppet, yeah.
Yeah!
That's why Jim Henson kind of banned me a few years ago. But Miss Piggy was happy. Miss Piggy was really happy.
These are not anatomically correct.
Yeah, so when we talk about stuff, I might actually hold up Lily to show you where it goes. Lily.
Also, if your vulva is this large, I think you might want to be thinking about.
Now, don't say that.
Very tall.
Don't say that because vulvas come in all shapes and sizes.
But this clitoral hood could make like Barbie. You could put a Barbie in there and make her
that's
quite Barbie druid.
That's quite a clitoral hood. I have to say that may be the only time that I would recommend
It makes my tongue
partial
feel.
lunectomy.
It makes my tongue feel really small. Bad Lily.
Okay, so the use of dildos actually goes back into ancient times, right?
Ancient times. You know,
I know about them from Rome because one of the Roman writers complained about the amount of time that Roman women spent shopping for dildos. So.
You know, they were actually used in Egypt too. There's deity statues that, when the Victorians found them, they just fixed that. But the god's wife, that was her job, was to copulate at least once a year with the deity statue. My friend Lyle is an archaeologist. He says the most commonly found thing that nobody ever tells you about in archaeology are dildos. Stone ones, wood ones, leather ones, brass ones, bronze ones. Things that you're like, I'm not even 100% sure what exactly that's made out of. Yep.
Well, they even use like bull and horse, like they would taxidermy them and use them.
Oh, in Celtic society, the king would actually copulate with a horse that was a lot of times dead.
I've heard it. But isn't there like an S&M thing about that too? Because you can they tell you to quit beating a dead horse. Isn't that having?
That's a different thing. Don't make me get out the ouchie whip. The ouchie whip. The ouchie whip. I have two. I have the nice whip. This is for people whose safety word is, ow, damn it, that hurts.
Oh, well,
it makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't make any sound. It doesn't make any pain. This is a rubber one. So this one stings like a mofo. This is the ouchie whip.
Okay.
There's also, you can't tell, there's actually a vibrator in here. So it can also be the fun tail.
Okay.
Use it.
All right.
So, I brought a few more
I actually
bondage
know
things.
a dominatrix.
I brought a few more bondage things. These are handcuffs.
Yeah.
Anything that you get other than police issue handcuffs, which you can't really get, are going to have a safety switch. And I highly recommend this.
Yeah, unless you want to do that Stephen King book.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless you were featured in Gerald's game, that's not cool. Not cool. Well, we should stand up if we're going to actually talk.
We are. We talked about standing up.
So we talked about that.
Yeah, because we're going mobile here.
Okay. Sitting down.
All right.
So, John, you couldn't stop playing with it earlier.
Yeah.
So now you can play with it now.
Well, see, I know what this is, but I mean, it's a vaginal
it's a male masturbatory sleeve.
But I mean, I'm sorry. That's like if you wanted to maybe have sex with a flower or something, you put on your pea suit.
Okay, here's the deal. The ones that I sold were actually geared for women to buy men. Okay. When you say,
it's like, not tonight,
I'm
honey.
just so tired, here, go have fun.
I'm
going away for 2 weeks with the girls, but it's actually pretty cool. So, let's have you stick your finger out for me. This is just a
First you gotta get it hard.
regular water-based lube. This one's pretty general.
Oh yeah.
Now some of these sleeves actually have beads and different things in there. This is just a pretty standard sleeve. So then, now see, when you look, all the sleeves have a hole at the end. This is because when he's done being happy, he needs to have a place to not make it explode when he comes. It's also easy to clean it out if you could just stick it on a tap. Are you having fun there, Jake?
Notice how long my fingers are.
And see, this one is actually pretty good. You look at it initially, you're like, oh, that can't really get anything in there. We got 2 fingers easily, and I've actually got the big purple guy in there. Yeah.
This one?
Oh, no, the big
the one purple guy.
The big purple guy. Okay. So you just couldn't resist playing with it. Don't worry, it's a water-based lube. It'll dry off in a minute.
Plus, you can turn it inside out. If you really want.
You can turn it inside out if you
I
want.
think still pink would be a much better color in the long run. The blue thing just kind of freaks me out. It'd be like, la, 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 la.
They have pink ones. They have
Smurfette! Oh yeah, Smurfette!
There's actually a guy who makes realistic sex dollies. And he made one that looked like the chick from Avatar.
Oh yeah, the blue thing. Yeah. That would be another thing if you're
10 feet tall?
Yeah, it was exactly lifelike.
Really? Wow.
Supposed to be exactly lifelike on the inside. Then he has a friend that charges $10,000 to clean the things.
I bet.
The doll itself is like $50 to $75. So we have a lot of different ones for females.
Yes.
These are some pretty standard ones. You can hold that one.
Okay.
These ones are pretty standard. You want one, Kat?
Oh, sure, why not?
These ones are pretty standard. The reason I say these are pretty standard is because there's no fuss, no muss.
Yeah.
If you pull out the
battery operated.
Battery operated. Both of these are, this one is a AAA, this is a AA.
Because it's one of the words.
He's got one. So these are pretty standard because they don't really have any accoutrements. They have multiple speed settings that you just turn here.
Right.
And it'll go higher and lower. But there's nothing super fancy.
I killed it.
That's okay.
Oh, no, I just turned it on again.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was in business, I was going through so many batteries that the people at Costco are like, because I was going through just packs and packs of them. So that's pretty standard.
So rechargeables work in these?
Rechargeables really don't.
Okay.
Rechargeables don't hold a charge long enough.
These aren't green.
I know. Well, that's why cucumbers. That's what you need. No batteries.
These ones are. Now, if you want the best green dildo, the best, then you need glass.
I was going to say.
Glass is the one. And we have. You want another glass one? I think there's a glass.
There's another glass one.
He's around here somewhere. There he is.
That sounds like a name for a band. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Glass Butt Plug!
Now this is a teeny tiny butt plug. We have a big one. This is still not a giant butt plug. This is still not a giant butt plug. I've actually seen a butt plug. Drake, would you make a fist, please? That was that big around. It also was electrified. So that would give you a small electric charge. And I didn't think that was a very good idea. Because, man, you do not want to mess up that peristaltic wave.
No.
The thing that makes you poop. Yeah. You don't want to mess with that.
Of course, I think by the time you put something like that in, you wouldn't have to worry about ever pooping again. It would just fall off.
Now, rectal tissue has some give. It's not as forgiving as vaginal tissue because women were designed to give birth to babies whose heads are pretty big. Your body, on the other hand, was only designed to have, well, let's be frank, a turd so big. To be honest. So you can do anal exercises the same way you do your Kegel exercises. You can do anal exercises to tighten that up. Eventually, though, the elasticity in any skit, would you put my pussy down?
I just watched Prometheus, so I'm like getting really...
So the butt ones. But the glass is really nice.
Okay, tell us about the glass.
The glass is really nice, and the one that Kat has is awesome because it's got swirls on one side.
Screws in.
And it's, it screws in to hit your clit over, or you hit your G-spot over and over and over. The other side of it is actually mostly designed for anal stimulation, but you can still use it vaginally.
And these have never been used.
These have never been used.
And if they did, you could sterilize
And you
them.
can,
you can
Just make sure you get them out before the in-laws come over. It's like, here, I'll put away your dishes.
Here's the deal, though. People will tell you, oh, put that in the freezer. For the love of God, don't put your glass dildo in the freezer.
I've heard of people putting it in warm water, though, right?
You can put it in warm water, but don't put it in freezer. You know why? Is there a reason why you don't lick a metal pole? It's the same thing, people. The same thing. Don't put your glass dildo in the freezer. Or if you do, send me lots of pictures so I can laugh at you.
Only the virgins may ride me.
Okay, so that's a pretty standard one. We have a G-spot simulator.
Okay.
That's why it's short, is because it's meant for your G-spot.
Okay.
If you're going in further than this, you're not hitting it. You're missing it.
Right.
So what are you looking at? Ooh, the anal beads.
What are those?
Okay, so this is anal beads. This is a 3-pronged anal bead toy.
I haven't met that person yet.
So this is for people that are new to anal. So you start off with just the tiniest bead.
Okay.
You go all the way. Once you get on there, people, this is not a lawnmower cord. The aim is not to rip it out. Okay? It's to be sexy. You do one at a time. You rip it out, you're going to have poop and tears everywhere, and it's not going to
It's going to ruin the mood.
It's going to ruin the mood and the sheets.
Yeah.
So we have the little one, we have the medium one, and we have the big daddy one.
Okay. All right.
Life is not porno land, people. You cannot go from 0 to all the way
I can find water!
I don't think you can find water.
You didn't use a G-spot.
Virginia over there.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think you'd find water with that trick. But no, people see pornographic material, they think, oh, you know what he does? He just goes up and he sticks it in and he says, how'd he do? And everybody's happy. That's not real life, y'all. You can't do that. If you do that, you're going to get kicked in the head. And she's never, ever going to want to have anal sex with you again. Right. And you've lost out on what could be really special. That's why we have the little tiny glass butt plug. We have this one. This is a vibrating anal toy. Remember, folks, it has to have a handle or it has to have a stop guard in order to go in your rectum.
Otherwise, you'll be talking to the people at the ER.
Otherwise, you will be talking to the people
Worked
in the
at a hospital
ER.
for 13 years.
And you will have to figure out, how do I get to the car
Use the alkaline,
with
guys.
a weird dildo firmly inserted in my rectum? How do I drive myself? How do I explain this? How are they going to put this on my insurance forms? If it
was in
doesn't
the
have
chair
a
and I just
handle,
sat down.
and it doesn't have a plug, it doesn't go up your butt.
Okay.
No, we actually did have people come into the
There will
ER.
be
This
a
was still
quiz
running.
right after this.
No,
All right.
really. Because if you
we can't go past that one there. That looks like, the Empire State Building.
Oh, this one is this is probably one of the coolest toys ever.
Okay.
So we're going to look at this one first, because this is like that one.
All right.
only
Do you
different.
use that one when you want to scare your date?
No, this one, again.
You have to be at least
Oh,
this tall to ride
That's
the girl.
the bunny rabbit thing.
Yeah.
That's the bunny
Realize
rabbit thing.
this part is not be inserting anywhere. This is just a handle.
Okay.
So you're not sticking that whole thing in there. So
Okay.
this is a dual stim. This has the clit stimulator, and this has the G-spot stimulator. Now this one's nice because it's got
Look, it dances.
a wiggle.
Hi there, little friend, you are dancing like a hula girl. You
Now watch this. Now watch this. This one actually
See, but this is a little unfair because I cannot make my thing do
will
that.
reverse.
I can.
So you can be
You want to film it? That's all.
on camera.
No, this one also has a clit stim, and both of these functions are independent of each other. So if you want a little clit stim and a lot of twisty,
Where's the? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't show me that.
yes.
It probably has a DVD or something. I don't know.
No.
So how to work it.
I had one that had.
Welcome to your new sex toy.
So this one is
That's normal.
Normal.
yeah, this one is
vanilla.
That's vanilla. This is I don't know, maybe strawberry, and this is your death by chocolate. So this one has 7 features
Get
of
out.
up and down. But instead of going twisty like the other one, Laura, will you hold that?
I will.
Do you feel it?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to get on the TV, but it actually thrusts.
Yeah, it does. You see
Up
the
and
little
down.
beads going back and
I just
forth?
have a feeling you should be playing that song Powerhouse while it does.
And then-
Oh, and those. Oh, my God. Look at that. Woo!
That's high.
Yeah.
This is high, and then this one doesn't reverse because, I mean, what's the opposite of back and forth? But forth and back.
Yeah.
The thing I love about this one is you're all done, you're happy, you're squishy, you don't want to mess with it. One step off.
Easy off.
One step off.
Okay.
It's just got an off button.
Okay.
All these ones you have to scroll through, power down.
Yeah.
Girls get that, and we get this. Oh,
That's
you hear that sound? Oh my god!
Such an interesting one. If you break it, you bought it. So then we
How do
have
you
one other
break
thing.
that?
I had a guy that ripped one.
There you go.
This
Did you date him immediately afterwards?
No.
Tear that sucker plumb in half!
He tried to stick 4 fingers in there. I'm like, that's what you're ripping it with? I don't think I want to be your friend. Okay, so Drake, I need you to stick your finger out again. Because this is a toy for you and me. You can use it on your own. It's a kind of a cock ring. It's not actually designed to stop the blood flow, but it is designed
I can
to
tell you
have
horror stories about that one too. Not
Yeah,
as fun as it could be.
if you use a cock ring,
Make sure it has a release. Or you'll be talking to the guys at the ER
here's the
too.
deal. Don't use a metal one. For the love of the gods, don't use a metal cock ring.
Okay.
So now, Laura, you come up and put your hand right here.
Okay. Yep.
So if he's greedy, he puts it this way,
Okay.
and then he can feel it on his testicles.
Right.
Which
Or
wouldn't really be my thing.
you can put it up like this. Now he still feels it through the shaft.
Right.
You feel it on your clit.
Right.
Or y'all just do it doggy style, and then everybody has fun.
Oh, there you go.
There, everybody has fun.
There you go.
You can do a cowgirl, and it'll do the same effect. And this one I like because it has lots of different features. It's got like that one that my girlfriend calls a Tommy gun. It goes.
Little bursts. Of
Oh,
Yeah.
so it has different programs.
It has different programs.
So that. I can feel the energy. My hand chakra. It's a hand
Star
chakra.
Trek.
Okay, so now what next?
So now what next? We can do whatever you want to talk about. We got chocolate sauce.
Chocolate sauce.
I know that poor Laura can't have any.
No, I can't.
Almost
I
all
like the little target
edibles.
thing on this one.
Almost
Oh,
all
now I can feel
edibles.
this. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
That's the pew, pew one. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, my girlfriend calls it the Tommy gun. But almost all edibles contain aspartame or some sort of non-sugar substance.
Yeah, okay.
Mostly because if you use sugar in there, you'll get a yeast infection. So unfortunately, poor Laura is allergic.
There should be a movement towards stevia.
You know, they are doing it. Some companies are doing it. Some companies actually use a dehydrated honey, and then they put a secondary something in there.
I think honey and sugar are pretty much the same.
I would think,
But
but
didn't they used to they used to juice with honey in some cultures?
Honey,
to, like,
honey is
restore stuff.
antimicrobial.
Yeah,
so I
so
would think.
it's supposed to be
So this one actually comes with a paintbrush. I don't have it, but you can paint it on your leather. I'm going to paint it down where you can actually lick it off yourself.
myself.
I'll lick it off. You can.
Yeah, she won't do aspartame.
I won't do the
Here,
aspartame either.
we can do this. That's like
Hold on.
troika.
Let me actually get some on there so you can taste it. Okay.
Ready? In some cultures, we'd be blood brothers now. Chocolate brothers.
Chocolate Brothers.
Chocolate
So
Brothers.
this one comes in chocolate. This is actually specially formulated to be eaten off skin. Hershey's chocolate
Why
syrup.
don't they just
Not so
use
much.
chocolate?
No. Because your skin actually has salt and all kinds of different stuff in there.
Yeah.
So the first lick,
Yeah.
The second lick, the third lick, because it's mixed with your skin, and it makes that weird, funky, like bad beer and old eggs or something. I don't know. It's not good.
Maybe not.
It's not good for you. The other thing we need to talk about is lube. Lube.
Yes.
There's lots of things in the world that aren't lube, including and not limited to spit, olive oil, lotion, shampoo, Coca-Cola, whipped cream. Now here's the deal. Petroleum jelly, if you're in a monogamous relationship and you're into fluid exchange, which means that you're okay with everybody winding up with fluid in at least one person, which is a fluid exchange, and you want to do anal sex, I recommend a small amount of something that's petroleum-based. Do not get an anal lubricant that has numbnut in it. You need to know every single thing that is going on back there. You don't want to deaden any sensation, because if you get an anal tear or an anal rip, this can be a huge problem, especially because this is a place that poop comes out of, so it's not really that clean, which means you can keep getting infection after infection. So you can use it in that case. If you're using latex, don't use any petroleum product.
Bad.
So this one, you got a chance to try that one out. It's a pretty standard water-based lube.
Natural contact.
That was the one that was all over your hands.
That was the one that's all over your hands. They have flavored lubes. I tried this one. It turns out I'm allergic to it.
Wow.
So,
I always try it on a what do they call that? A non-special.
Well, here's the deal. You need to put it on a mucus membrane. You just need to use a very small amount. Because if you're allergic, just because you're not allergic here, doesn't mean you're not allergic yet. I would say before you buy a lube, before you make a purchase of it, go ahead and get one of the sample packs. Almost all porn shops will carry a sample pack of various kinds of lubes, various kinds of toy cleaners, all that stuff. Try it before you buy it.
Now, you don't have to go to a porn shop. You were telling me.
You can go online.
Yeah.
You can go online. Do you want me to say the name of the retailers?
Sure.
Okay. Amazon. Amazon.com. Go under health and beauty. And you'll find lubricant. You'll find toy cleaner. If you're using toys, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely, positively invest in toy cleaner. Because otherwise, you can get dirt, you can get bacterial infections, you can get yeast infections, you can get UTIs. Vaginas naturally have a certain amount of bacteria, a certain amount of fungus, a certain amount of everything. And then, I don't know what it is about your girl juices. Every piece of dust, every dog hair, every random particle is attracted to a toy that has some sort of girl glue on it. And it will glue on there, and the next time you use it, if you don't wash it, you've just put all that nastiness all up in you. Don't do it. If that's the time,
I'm disgusted by that.
Well, here's the deal, though. That's
She's going right out and get cleaner.
Make
yes,
it sound
right
like
afterwards.
All right.
Go get cleaner. And don't worry about the wipes. Just get the spray.
Okay.
What else we got that you guys seem interested? Oh, if you like to shave, they have awesome products like this. You can also get this shave cream on Amazon. You can get it on eBay. You can actually buy porn on eBay.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like hardcore porn. The only thing I'm going to say is if it is produced by a person, make sure that person is over 18. And if there's a hint of a question of I'm not quite sure, for the love of God, don't buy it.
And check your local laws too, because a lot of places have, like Tennessee and stuff, have different laws than everybody else.
Check
you
your
can buy
local
something
laws.
that's legal and get nailed for it.
Check your local laws, and if any of the people in it look like they might be 17 years and 362 days old, don't buy it. Because child porn laws, it doesn't matter if you thought, oh, she told me, no, it doesn't matter. And that's a sex offender rap you never get rid of. But this will help you shave all your naughty bits. Ladies, if you shave, be very, very careful. Make sure that you're pulling the skin firmly. Also, what you want to do is you want to do small patches. A lot of women, they just go in there, they lather it up, they rip their razor right across it. What happens is you get loose pimples, you rip the top layer of flesh off, you get razor burn, like, whoo! And then you never, ever, ever do it again.
Or have sex for...
Or have sex for like 6
time,
weeks.
yeah.
Use small amounts, do small areas, stop a little bit, warm it up, dry it off, take a break, do it again. Don't shave the innermost part of the labia. I don't care if you think it doesn't look good. Don't do it. Because that would be like shaving the inside of your nose. If you cut it never... Not with a shave razor.
No, not with that. Well, I wouldn't use a straight razor anywhere near down. I used to be a prep person at the hospital. It was my job to like shave people prior to surgery, and so I've even shaved groins like stars. I mean, it's
I
like
knew you looked familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I've shaved the Broncos, the Nuggets, and everything. But one of the things is when you go, wait, I had to shave Nuggets every day, baby. But go from the top down, where the way the hair is, go shave this way, you shave back against that, and it just hurts, and it causes those bumps to come up. Always shave with the grain of the hair, so for most people, your pubic hair grows out and goes downward. Mm-hmm. So shave with that grain in very short strokes.
How do you do the scrotum?
You lift it up, and you do little patches, because that was one of my jobs, because hernia surgery, so you had to do that. So, I mean, first guy I ever shaved is like 300-pound guy, tattoos of skulls and stuff, biker stuff all over, and I walk up to him, and he goes, "You better not cut me," and I'm going, but I was the carefulest man. I mean, I maybe had 7 nicks in my whole 13-year career. You know, and
That's
it's like
impressive.
and a lot of those were things that were like little hidden bumps or something. And again, check out, because people have skin tags; those things will bleed forever. Always
Those things
kind
will
of
bleed
feel for
forever.
that. Make sure they're there if you're going to shave.
All right.
Now, there's one
All right.
last thing we need to
All
talk
right.
about, and that's stimulating the prostate. Now, I knew he was going to do that. Now, you can use a device that's very similar to this one to do that. They actually have prostate stimulators. Typically, they're more expensive than G-spot stimulators. And again, if you find something like this that has a handle, why spend the extra money? But let's say that your guy just doesn't want you to stick your finger right up his butt. He's not down with that. That's okay. You can still get some prostate stimulation. Have him lay flat on his back, lift up his testicles, find his taint his ass, and taint his balls, and press on it. And you want to rub on it the same way that you would rub on your G-spot. You want to rub on it. And start out soft. Start out soft, but you can actually get a pretty good amount of pressure depending on the guy. Make sure your nails are trimmed, just like if you're doing yourself or if he's doing you. You want to have clean hands, good nails, because you do not want to scratch that.
Yeah, regardless of what porn movies do, you do not put long nails inside the vagina ever.
You can also use your thumb. If you have a nice rounded thumb like I do, you can use that. And then while you're doing manual manipulation of the penis, look, I use some nice terms. Or while you're blowing him, that's going to be dirty too. Do this. It will blow his mind. Be ready for him to be a gusher. It's going to get everywhere.
All right.
Yay.
And on that note,
everywhere.
Yes. On that note, yeah, Georgia.
Thank you very much,
so
Georgia.
much for coming in. Just made this hot studio a little hotter.
Oh, it is very warm.
It is very warm in here. And so we're talking more about sex tonight because we're talking about polyamorous relationships. And so we have a polyamorous couple who's going to join us right after commercials. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm chasing twisters down an
You're watching Modern Pagan TV. If you'd be interested in advertising on our program or becoming a sponsor, please email info@modernpagan.tv. We'll be right back after these important messages.
same communication to your unspoken lies. You can't break my heart.
I think they're destroying our town. They're burning our property. We're not going to take it anymore.
People have believed in witchcraft for centuries, and in the Stuart era, we just loved accusing innocent people of being witches. Have you had an accident that wasn't your fault? Trip or fall at work? Suffered a personal injury or sickness? Then you could have been cursed by a witch. So get in touch with us at Witchfinders Direct. We'll find some innocent woman, say she's a witch, and have her burned to death. Farmer Pocket of Crawley lost all his cabbages when they were eaten by slugs. He lost literally several shillings. So he called in Witchfinders. And we decided the slugs had been sent by the strange old woman who lived in the village. Yes, her.
It wasn't me.
Yes, it was. She's old and warty and looks a bit evil, don't you think? So we had her dragged away and given a fair trial. Do you have a cat?
Yeah.
Then thou art a witch. She was put to death, and her cat sent to prison. So if you have anything go wrong in your life, call Witchfinders Direct. We'll find some innocent old woman and blame her for it. Witchfinders, because old ladies deserve it.
In the 1600s, confessing to being a witch could result in burning. Not confessing to being a witch could result in being tortured until you said you were a witch, then in burning. Not all witches were burned. Other punishments included forced fasting, exile, hanging, beheading, stoning, and gouging.
respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof,
or abridging the freedom of speech,
or of the press,
or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble,
and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
We can believe. We can believe. We can believe.
We can believe.
We can believe.
We can believe.
I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe. I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe. I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe.
I have the right to believe.
I'm chasing twisters down an
If you like what you see here, please donate to modernpagan.tv. Just go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and look for the donate button. We appreciate your contributions to keep modernpagan.tv on the air and on the internet. And now, back to live modernpagan.tv.
We're back, and we're not going to do the polyamory right now because we have a band that's over there.
We're doing rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
So sex toys and rock and roll. So we have Colorado. Yeah.
Live from Littleton, Colorado, Forest of Azure. Is their album?
Yeah, there it is.
You are here.
Yeah, there it is. Yes. And they actually have agreed to play one of my favorite songs of theirs, and I'm going to let them. So we're
okay.
Do it.
Put your hands together for Forest of Azure.
Thank you. We're charged now.
Thanks, everybody. We're forced to measure.
want to see them live, and I'm sure you do, at 2 E's on Colfax, 9 p.m., July 26th. They have another bigger gig coming up, but I wanted to get that one out so everybody would know about that. And zipping right along, because we're talking about sex toys, and rock and roll, and we've done 2 of the 3.
So we're here to talk about polyamory.
Polyamory, yeah. So
there's the 3 of us in rock and roll because we are a band that was here last week,
absolutely.
And we are a poly
triad.
triad.
Yeah.
So I know we don't have a lot of time. So the biggest thing is that if you don't have great communication, you're not going to have sex. So this is actually more about communication and talking with each other, because you have to first. None of the 3 of us are in a relationship that speak the same language. Nobody does.
Really?
Everybody speaks a different language. Different words mean different things. Like if we go through the 3 of you, know you're not in a relationship, you're in a friendship. What does love mean to you? And what does it mean to you?
Better example. What? And real, make it real fast, just off the top of your head. What does the word tool mean to you?
Something that you use to make something work.
Okay, something that you use to make something work. To me, it may mean a screwdriver. Mm-hmm. Both tools, but different meanings.
Can also mean a person.
Yeah. So discovering what the definitions of words mean. It comes up as you go. I mean, we've been together for 4 years, and I can honestly say we really haven't had a huge blow-up, breakout, stream holler. We have had disagreements, but what we have decided to do in the beginning of our relationship is we would immediately talk about it. It's not always easy. I mean, I've learned more about communication being with these guys than I ever did in a monogamous relationship.
So how did you find each other?
Well, I'm not sure.
The band? Well, no, not really. I knew Greg. I've known Greg for a really long time. We just can't figure out where we met. I met Pat
this live, some other live, yeah.
So, and I met Pat at OFM several years ago.
Okay.
So we've known each other, but we came together actually because of the band.
Okay.
And then we were friends first, then we became partners after that. So it's been quite interesting. You have to get rid of all your boxes because they just don't exist. Jealousy cannot be involved whatsoever. Jealousy is not part of love anyway. It's an opposite. So if there's jealousy there, it's not love. But it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It really is not for everybody, and I understand. I know my family doesn't always understand, so and we have to be careful because it's not something that's accepted in the public. Like everybody knows that obviously beginning May, Greg had a heart attack, and we had to rushed him to the hospital, and we're both in emergency, and Pat first said that she was wife, and so they escorted me out physically, and they said, wait a minute, I'm his wife. No, he already has one. I said, no, I'm really his wife. No, he already has one.
Well, I actually said that I was his partner, and they automatically assumed wife.
Right.
So you get another definition.
And it's really hard.
So is there a legal relationship someplace?
No, there can't be.
Okay.
Legally, there can't be.
Okay. So 2 of you are not in a legal relationship?
Nope.
Okay, according to the state of Colorado.
According to the state, we're all single.
Okay.
But I've never been in deeper love in my entire existence. So what the state has to say, I don't care.
We don't need a piece of paper. Yeah. We have it written, and our families know while mine isn't totally accepted, they, because it seems to be something that's more pagan than it is anywhere else.
Except Utah.
Yeah. Well, I was Mormon for a long time. It's not necessarily, it depends on where you are there.
Yeah.
But this is a lot different than what that is. We actually live together. We sleep in the same bed. We take care of each other. We all have different things that we do, different things we bring to the table. And for ease of just conversation, she's Mama Monkey, I'm Mama Bug. So if he says Mama, we both just say, what? So he doesn't understand. But we're so different, but we're a lot alike. So Pat is my best friend. She's my BFF. And when you get to the sex part, some couples, everybody has sex together. So we try and say it depends on the people. Pat and I don't. But usually, and we have done that, but I'm not as comfortable with that as she is. And we have times that we said, he's like, well, I'm going to take Mama in the back bedroom. So it all works out. I'm never jealous. She's never jealous. It's because it's not about that.
I think people are going to find that incomprehensible.
The way he loves her is not the same way he loves me.
Two totally separate relationships going on.
So, And the relationship her and I have is
Well, I think people on the outside obsess on the sex thing. I mean, I've told people, I've been dealing, we have an 11-year relationship at this point of a stable triad, and, we'll tell people, it's like, wow, that must be really great. It's like, yeah, I have 2 women living in the house. That means any given night, I'm twice as likely to be turned down for sex as a monogamous guy. It's not like automatically people who are polyamorous who are specifically more sexually active than anyone else, and it isn't polyscrewalist, it's amorous, it's about love, and that's what, again, the people on the outside, they just fixate on the sex thing. It's like, wow, look at this dude, he's got 2 girls, and it's like, yeah, it means I have to do twice as much cooking, I have to do this, and it's all kinds of things.
But you know what, the rewards of this type of relationship are through the roof.
He has a honeydew list that's ridiculous. It really does.
Yeah.
So it actually takes that much harder to work at it. So we have a deal. If someone has an issue, we stop whatever we're doing and we deal with that issue immediately. It's not left. It's not it's not put aside. We deal with it right then and there because each one of us are that important. And we don't have a first and a second. We're all equals. There's not one person that's better than the other.
Okay.
She likes to work outside, where I prefer to do all the decorating. So I'm the house mama. She's the outdoor mama. I mean, she gets under the truck and the cars with it and then gets dirty, and where I wouldn't do that. That's just not me.
Because it's not recognized as a legal relationship, do you have something in place that protects each other? Some sort of documentation or wills and things like that that help protect, or power of attorney, that kind of thing?
After my heart attack, that's what I do have an attorney on retainer for, actually for my father has Alzheimer's that we take care of. But anyway, neither here nor there, I'm going to talk with him and see what it is that we need to do. So should one of us wind up in the hospital again, it wasn't this big cluster that it was last time. And, that not any one person is going to feel left out and we've actually they've gone to my follow-up appointments, and I've been very clear with the staff there at the hospital. These are my ladies, and we're in this relationship. And one is
and you always get a strange look from every one of them.
Yeah, but that's okay. Let them look. It doesn't matter to me because it's important to me if I were to fall over and have, God forbid, have a seizure or something, that both of the people that I love are there. And I understand what they did at the ER, and I understand why they did it. Doesn't mean I don't resent it.
Well, I think sometimes it's good for people to kind of understand not judging relationships when you're dealing with people and in healthcare situations or any situation, really, not having an attitude or an opinion about it.
Right.
That since you couldn't possibly understand what someone else is doing, doesn't mean that that it's right or wrong or whatever. But it is your relationship, and it should be respected.
Right. And once they find out, they're kind of like, okay, it's not as big of a deal, but
Right, but on initial look, a guy comes into the ER or wherever, and there's one person that says that they're with them, and then there's somebody else that comes by a few moments later saying that they're with them.
Yeah.
Are we going to have a fight in the emergency department?
Got an ex-wife,
the girlfriend and the wife,
And so, and I can understand from their point of view. Anyway,
the really cool thing that we've been able to do is that we started, while we do not have a degree from school, we have a degree of life. And so what we do is we give workshops. And
I was just about to ask where people would go who are drifting in this direction.
Not only this direction, monogamous relationship,
that's what I was going to say.
It's about communication.
It's about jealousy and the fact that it has no business in any relationship.
So our workshops aren't necessarily about having a polygamous relationship. It's about relationships and learning to talk to each other and communicate, because communication is becoming a lost art. Everybody's too busy texting and all that stuff. You can't communicate that way. So we actually do workshops, and it's been, we've had a couple of them. They've been very successful, and it's not that we think that we know everything, because we learn as much from others that we can put out, but it is that we've discovered a lot of things that we just want to share. So, Greg and I kind of talked about it, so I'm telling you now.
She
can hear me that
with the band over
what we possibly is that we'd like to, if we get enough people who want to do it, we do have this beautiful piece of property in the mountains to have people come up
Do a workshop.
and do a workshop and
Retreat,
And it's
sort
like
of.
a retreat,
Yeah,
and-
basically.
which we offered last week for people to come up.
And how would they find you?
You can go to. I'm on Barbara Doyle on Facebook.
Easiest way, 720-495-0979. That's my phone number. And, they can also email tribalheartbeat@gmail.com.
Right. And so there are lots of ways to find you if they're interested in doing
You
that.
can go to the,
Okay.
the band site and you can get all of this.
And do you have something coming up in town anytime soon?
For the band?
No, for this.
For this? No.
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, speaking of band, not that band,
Yeah,
but this
Fourth of Magic,
band.
they rock.
They do rock.
They
I love
do.
this guy.
And let's go rock some more. Woo! Right now.
Let's go. Hey, where are we going? Let's go. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Tune down to dig, a popular thing to do in rock music. Makes it feel special. Tune down to dig. I'm always tuned down to dig.
And thank you for tuning in. Blessed be everybody. Blessed be.
Modern Pagan TV for having us here. So,
Queen of the universe. You want me? I want to be a goddess.
So, July 26th.
Yes.
At 2 Eves on Colfax.
Yes.
All right, now, but you have another big gig coming up.
Yes.
Tell me about it, quick.
We are...
Festival.
Yes.
Tribal Vision. Tribal Vision in Dallas. August. Dallas, New Mexico, August 17th.
All right, all of you in New Mexico, if there's any left of New Mexico. So, all right, so introduce yourselves, because we don't even know who you are. Besides, we know you're Forrest Majeure, but who are you?
Thomas Reed, Scott Seaver, and Marshall.
Katie Marshall.
Katie, you just heated up the studio. I'm exhausted just watching you. That's all I can say. So.
Especially those furry boots. Those gotta get
Yeah, it's 500 degrees. So, check them out on Facebook. Check them out on Facebook. Here's the album. There we go. There's the album. Yeah, you got it. Album. Go see them live because you really want to do that.
Yes.
And anything else you want us to know? This was awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for doing it. All right. We love it. Great.
Okay, so we have important news tonight.
We have important news tonight.
Okay, right here. Okay, there we go. I think I'm good. We have important news tonight. This is our season finale. Yes, that's right. We've had many wonderful, successful shows, and tonight will be our season finale. So join us again as we bring back exciting things after the summer's over. Because I tell you, it's only June and it's like 135 in here. So if we had to do shows in July and August,
it's warmer than that now.
I think so. But most season finales, you have to have a cliffhanger. So here it is. I'm expecting, and one of these ladies is responsible. Who is it? Is it Laura, the staid professional? Is it the crafty kitchen witch? Is it Kat, the mystic? Perhaps Georgia, the sex stripe person? Who knows? Write in. Tell us who you think the appropriate responsible person is. Maybe we can have that fixed when we come back. Okay? That'll be great. So it's been wonderful fun. Wonderful fun for everybody. We love all of you. This is your show. Remember that. Show your friends to come watch it on
www.modernpagan.tv or YouTube.
That's right. We're on YouTube.
On their place. Just watch them on there.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching Modern Pagan TV. We'll be back at the same time and the same place next week with more. If you like what you see here, please go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and contribute generously. And don't forget to tell all your friends about Modern Pagan TV. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit our site regularly. We'll see you next week with more Modern Pagan TV. To all people of all spiritual beliefs, we say good night, namaste, and blessed be.